Well, I went and did it. I stirred up the anti-vax crowd. Usually doesn't take a lot of imagination actually to get those guys hyped up and going, but all the same I dipped into their crazy waters because medical conspiracies are going to be one of the things holding back getting things out of the way and dealing with this pandemic. But, I can dismiss all sorts of conspiracy theories, whether or not the Americans actually landed on the moon or who shot Kennedy, even. They're whatever, fine, if you want to go into those things. But the medical ones actually get harmful. These are ones that can put people at risk, and that's where I get a little more irked and annoyed with them. You usually don't have to find, there's people with legitimate concerns about how fast a COVID vaccine has come out or how well researched it might be. That's fine, but most of these fears are fed by a bunch of the anti-vaccination crap, and it is crap that's been out there, stuff the autism myth and other things that are just hanging on. But I'm going to go a little farther into the medical conspiracy theories to one that's even more odious and dangerous than the anti-vax bunch, though they often are the same people who push these things. This is kind of low-hanging fruit, but I want to show how easy it is to dissect some of these vapid conspiracy theories about medical things out there. I want to go into the realm of, yes, the suppression of cancer cures by big pharma or big government or big aliens or whatever, head honcho that's hiding behind the curtain you want to point at. This one is a bad one. It's a dangerous one. And to be blunt, it's a stupid one. So, we have to wrap our heads around what gives the basis of this. The main one is just that shallow cry, these pharmaceutical companies make more money treating cancer than they would curing it. Really? Big pharma, yeah, there's the big enemy, the ones to be afraid of. Well, going by the hypothesis that big pharma is a bunch of heartless corporate monsters who just, don't care about the health or well-being of anybody and profit is everything, well, then it blows a hole in your whole conspiracy right off the bat. Because there are dozens and dozens of pharmaceutical companies out there, and they compete hard. Yeah, there's big money in it. Do you really think, though, it wouldn't be even bigger money if one of them came out with a cure and just blew away their competitors? They'd make a fortune. They don't care about their competitors. If there was some sort of magic cure for cancer and one pharmaceutical company put it out there, they would be able to charge $10,000 a dose easily and get the monopoly on it and treat tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people. I mean, what is it? It gets into billions over the course of enough years. They don't make more money treating it than they would in curing it. Plus, for vanity's sake, these pharma execs would be the ones who discovered the cure for cancer and go down in history like Pasteur and some of the others as people who made the world a much better place. Now, you got to think of how deep. Again, conspiracies, really, unless there's more than, under a dozen people, I should say, it's really hard to keep them. The cancer suppression conspiracy has to involve millions of people. Oncologists, thousands and thousands of them, chemists, corporate people, all of them are willing to let their loved ones die rather than let leak that they've actually been hiding the cure for cancer all this time. They're willing to die themselves than let out the secret that they've been hiding the cure for cancer all this time. Come on, think about that, people. We got to get real. Nobody's leaked. Wow, what an incredible disciplinary feat. Aside from, you'll always find some crank somewhere who's got some letters next to their name that claims the conspiracy there, but there's never been strong evidence of it. And why it gets dangerous? Well, because then there are parasitic people who feed on fears of others. I mean, cancer treatment has gotten way, way better over the years. There are a great deal of people alive today, including my own mother, because of modern treatment, surgical, yes, pharmaceutical, and some other things. But it's not foolproof. It's not 100%, and often the treatment's not pretty. So, I mean, if a person's offered saying, well, we can give you this treatment with the diagnosis we gave you, it'll be a grueling year of misery. You're going to lose weight. You're going to be nauseous. The radiation treatment might burn your skin, and you'll have a 20% chance of surviving. That's a horrible prognosis and terrifying. And unfortunately, a lot of cancer patients get that sort of prognosis every day. So that's their choice, I guess, whether they want to suffer and put up, and take that chance on a 20% chance of living. But it's still better than a 0% chance without treatment. But this is where the parasites come in. These alternative cancer treatment clinics that will take you down to Mexico and shake maracas at you and pour some herbs down your throat and call you cured, and then you'll come home and die. And they do it all the time, and they wait for these people who have had these terrible diagnoses coming out of the clinic. Some of them might have said that, when they came out of the clinic, that there's no treatment and they're going to die. That's not what anybody wants to hear. So, of course, they're welcome to hearing any line of BS to possibly save their lives. But all that ends up now is you've got somebody who's dead and they're broke. And their estate ends up having, the friends and family who pitched in for alternative treatment and crap like that. And the sort of thing that gets fed these hucksters who push for people to take those alternative BS cancer treatments will always point to the cancer conspiracy. That big pharma is hiding a cure. It's actually out there. People, it's not. And they're looking for it. And if they can find it, they'll do it. I mean, look at the money Pfizer made just out of boner pills. Nobody had even heard of them before Viagra came about. They made billions. If you can cure cancer, you're going to do even better than giving a bunch of old men hard-ons. So get real on these conspiracy theories. They are conspiracy theories. They're pap. They're unbased. They're foolish if you scratch the surface of them. And most of the anti-vaccination stuff is the same way. Just look a little more closely. Not with that get educated, listen to a bunch of YouTube crap and Dr. Wayfield and his BS. Look at reality.